Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. I'm here today with some motherfucking favorites. I have not done a favorites video in a very long time. It's not something I do on a regular basis. I'm not a monthly favorites kind of person, but I just kept thinking of like random things that I have been appreciating in the last couple of months, and I wanted to share them with you. Now, I also want to let you know we have a mix of makeup, skincare, and a whole lot of like random lifestyle things. So I'm just gonna kind of like pick at random to talk about things, and hopefully you will enjoy my little favorites video. If you are new here, or if you're just not subscribed in general and you like colorful makeup, bitches with lots of opinions, or cute fat babes in general, I would love for you to subscribe. You can definitely also find me on Instagram and Twitter. I have a Patreon and YouTube membership and all kinds of good shit in the description box. Now let's start out with a kind of follow-up from a first impression that I have continued to love for months now, and that is the Fenty Eavesdrop skin tint. So I picked this up literally the day it launched, and I did a video about it. I will link it up here. And I have shade 3, I believe. Yes, shade 3. I have been loving this, and I've been trying a bunch of different serum foundations, BB cream skin tint kind of formulas. Here's what I'm gonna say about the Fenty one. I think of it as a foundation. I think you can go in sheer, but I don't think if you're like a serious light coverage babe, you might find this to be too much. I've also seen people with dry skin say it's not for them, but I just think it's some of the easiest to apply. I can apply it with my fingers, I can apply it with a brush, I can apply it with a sponge. A lot of the skin tints that I've been trying, they really prefer your fingers or a sponge. I don't really like doing either one of those things. So the fact that I can use my favorite foundation brush with this and it still looks really good is a selling point. And I know it works. For me, it's not too dewy, it's not too matte. It has some coverage. It just works. It just works for me, and I've just really been enjoying it. And I keep trying to like have that same feeling for a lot of the other face products I've been trying in the last few months, and this one just keeps rising to the top of the list. So that is my first like fave for, I don't know, the last 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. What is time? Now I'm gonna go straight into a random, but I love having a notebook for everything. So I also wanted to shout out, let me look this up. The thing that I've been loving is there is actually an account that I found on TikTok called, I just looked it up. This is ADHD. Imperfect Inspiration. So imperfectinspiration.com is a site, and then that is also the name of the account that I saw on TikTok, that I found through TikTok. They are a planner designer, and they also do a lot of ADHD content on TikTok. But the thing is that, so I went ahead and bought their digital download for their planner, because they sell like paper copies and then they sell a digital download. I knew I didn't want to buy paper copies because I have a notebook. And the thing that I've done is I've simplified it way down. And now every day I'm gonna say almost every day, so what I've been doing, and the reason why I've been loving this, is that I kind of have this like 2-day thing, and you could call this a bullet journal, but this like 2-page thing for every day. And I tend to set it up the night before, and like the things from the planner that I really love are priorities with consequences, a soonish list, a laterish list, and like just space to write. And I find that, first of all, like I can't keep up with anything if I don't write it down, but I also find like I can actually help my ADHD brain figure out what is priority and what can actually wait. And it's a lot of trial and error, but like I've been doing this like 2-day, I keep saying 2-day. I've been doing this like 2-page spread for every day since like around June 20th. And the other thing that I've been loving, I've been playing around with my tarot deck. I literally own one tarot deck, and I do like a 1 question, 1 card pull, and I've been doing it, like I said, the night before. So it's also a favorite because it's like giving me a nighttime routine when I'm terrible at routines and I really dislike routines. And so it's basically just a way for me to journal. So like I will ask a question about the following day, and then I will write about my feelings about what the card says, and I'm still learning a lot about tarot. Anyway, it's really that I'm loving my notebook and I'm loving the Imperfect Inspirations like layout. But it's also been really nice to get myself back into writing, and I am just like very happy that I figured out kind of a layout that works for my like tracking YouTube, tracking all my freelance stuff, my personal stuff. Like it's all in one spot. So that is a favorite. Now let's go back to the list that I made in the notebook of my favorites. A little bit of a shocker favorite: the Tower 28 glosses. So back in January or end of December, I bought a little 4-pack of the Tower 28 glosses, a little mini pack. And I have whatever feelings about Tower 28. It is what it is. And so I just kind of have in my collection. I would use them from time to time. But recently I pulled out the clear mini and I just had it out like in my area, and I would reapply it basically like a lip balm or a gloss. I went through that one. The color that I had, that's called Fire, which looks orange in the tube but really just looks like kind of just a stunning like peach gloss on me. That one's basically done, and I'm down to these two. They're colors that I will wear, but just less often. But it's been really interesting to just like grab a product out and use it. And not every gloss performs like these do on my lips in terms of moisturizing. Not every gloss actually does my lips good. This has been pretty fucking awesome, and I was kind of shocked. And oftentimes glosses that have color to them are less moisturizing or nourishing for my lips, but so far the Fire color that I had didn't make my lips feel dry the way a lot of colorful glosses will do to my lips. So I'm as surprised as you are. So if you have seen me in a top that, oh, this top is ripped, by the way. Let's just cover that with my hair. But if you've seen me in a top that is like purple and floral, that is a favorite, because it's not a top. It is a muumuu. It is a muumuu with pockets that I don't have in front of me to show you because it needs to be washed. But you should be seeing some video of me awkwardly modeling it. Yeah, so there's that. It's just, I love it because it's so comfy. It's also has pockets again. It's cute enough that I would wear it out and about in the world. I wear it up to the pool in the building that I'm in. I wear it in videos. It's just great. Like, and I got it off of like Poshmark. It's like an old piece of clothing. It feels like it. It's that like older polyester, so that's not my favorite part about it, but I officially want like at least another, if not 2 or 3 more muumuus. Oh, it's also a long like piece, but it's not so long on me, because a lot of times I don't buy long dresses because they literally hit the ground because I'm like 5'1". But this, like, this could hit like mid calf or something like that for somebody that's taller, but for me it's like lower calf-ish area, so it's just perfect. It's just, and I want more, like, yeah, I love it. Muumuus for everyone. Caftans, muumuus for everyone. Let's pop over to another makeup thing or things. These are newer to my collection, but I adore them. And that is Lethal is Dead. The whole collection. If you haven't seen any videos, including my own, this is a 9-pan palette that was made by Lethal Cosmetics in collaboration with Teresa is Dead. And there are 3 gel liners. I have to say, for me, in terms of the gel liners, my favorites are Ectoplasm and Spectre. Spectre has been an unexpected favorite because it's just such a beautiful, rich dark blue, but it doesn't read black or too like navy on the eyes. And then this is just an awesome 9-pan palette. I'm, you know, definitely like was gonna love it no matter what because it's something that my friend created. But like, these are just, I have no complaints about the matte formula. The mattes from Lethal are some of my top favorite matte eyeshadows, if not my top favorite. And just a really nice color story. I personally can build lots of different looks with this palette, especially with the mattes. But then the shimmers, so like I think Spellbound and Ancient Evil are both very, very pretty, but Straight to VHS is the one that I cannot stop using. So I've been using it as a highlighter in so many looks. There's something about this and the way it looks on the face that reminds me of Chimera from Ritual de Fille. Is that how you say that name? Whatever. That's high praise because it's like, so Straight to VHS looks like a yellow in the pan, but depending on the lighting and what you pair it with, it can look more green. And I find that to be the case with Chimera as a highlighter or like as an inner corner color. I just really love the performance. I love how these darker colors perform. I find that the Final Girl is also a really beautiful blush that I've also used multiple times, and as a whole collection I think it's really pretty. I'll say it again, if you haven't bought from Lethal before and you've been waiting for like a nice color story, I think this is a great starting point. I also think if you're just interested in some of their gel liners, like Ectoplasm performs beautifully, Spectre is awesome. Spectre was also a fun base to use in my Toxic look that I loved putting together. So yeah, I adore Teresa. Teresa is a forever fave, and Lethal is Dead did not disappoint. Okay, so let me sell you on this. Let me set the scene. Are you an introvert? Are you the people-pleasing kind of person that does not like to get in the way of anyone or ask anything of anyone? Do you like being out in the sun, but you don't want to be sunburned? Then I recommend a lotion applicator. This is truly a favorite, and I don't care how nerdy I look using this. So I love being in the sun. I like pools. I like the beach, although sand I'm not as much of a lover of. I love being in the water and I love being in the sun. I'm also uncooked chicken. I tend to burn. My back over the course of my many years of being on this planet, I have burned it many a time. I don't want to do that anymore. This is how I can exist as the introvert, traveling, doesn't like to ask favors of people person. This is how I can be out in the sun and not be burnt. This is literally, I don't know if you've ever seen this. These are like lotion applicators, and the product comes through. Of course, it's not going to come through when I'm trying to show you.
What are you doing? Why are you embarrassing me? Why are you embarrassing me?
So what you do is you literally fill it. You could probably fill it with like aloe vera or any kind of, I don't know, anything that you might want to put on your body. And then it's literally like, fuck you.
Oh, come on. Are you okay? Are you? I don't trust you right now.
When this is properly filled, because it does need the sunscreen all around these sides, the sunscreen rolls out in these little roller balls. It's like one of those lip glosses with the roller ball, but you can actually apply it to your back or any part of your body that you have trouble reaching yourself, and it applies it evenly. I find I have to like apply and roll over, and like it'll work it into the skin and even out the coverage. If you are like, well, why don't you just use spray SPF? I have in many times thought I sprayed my back an appropriate amount and did not. A lot of spray SPFs don't work in the easy way that you think they're going to. Now, if you're not super sensitive, if you don't burn very easily, you might not experience that. But I've had like where like because of the way the wind caught, like some parts of my back didn't get sprayed or whatever. So anyway, as a introverted person who also moved to a location where they don't have friends IRL, who likes going to the beach and out in the world by themselves, and also like showing off my damn skin because I'm hot as fuck and no one will tell me otherwise, yeah, this is literally a lifesaver. So don't get skin cancer, use one of these. Did I ever show y'all? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. I bought Sonia G brushes. So this was a couple of months back where I went from being very broke to not being broke, and the Sky Eye brush set was the thing that was calling my name, and I have no regrets. Yeah, none whatsoever. Like, look at these beautiful brushes. Look. Are you kidding me? Look! I've wanted the Sky Eye brush set since it came out, and I am loving this collection. I think my favorites are definitely the boosters. No. Okay, my favorite for sure is the mini booster, which is the smallest blending brush, but the classic crease is also a really nice brush. The jumbo blender is definitely a bit big for my eyes, but it works surprisingly well. It's one of those shapes that I would think would be like for packing on color, but it does blend nicely. It's kind of like you can place and blend. And then I find both of these brushes to be fabulous for shimmers. Again, the white-haired one, the soft shader, that is like the full all over shimmer eye look. You can absolutely build with this brush. And then the flat definer, it's a very nice small brush for either like inner corner or placing very specifically on the lid. I bet it could also work for the lower lash line, although I don't think I've used it that way. These are bougie as fuck brushes. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you must buy these, but I don't have regrets. And I would definitely look at more of the smaller eye brushes from Sonia G. For me, I find a big difference with natural hair brushes for my eyes more so than my face. I do love a lot of the brushes that I have for my face that are natural hair, but I'm glad that I went with eye brushes for like my first Sonia G purchase. I was like, I've never bought like Hakuhodo or Chikuhodo or other Fude brushes outside of Refer. So these were my first like really luxury purchase, and I don't have any regrets. But I will say, I probably shouldn't have bought the set. I probably could have just picked up like actually the 4 brushes, because the sets aren't discounted. So if you're looking, you could always consider one brush, like trying out one of the shapes. I don't regret having got this, but yeah. One of the eye looks that I did a couple months back, where it was like, I called it my siren look, where I did a bunch of colors and then I did shimmers on top. I was using all my like lethal colorful mattes and these brushes, and I almost left the look all matte because it blended so beautifully, and just like, and I have a lot of love for lethal, as I've been talking about, but it was something just extra special that I really appreciated. And even if nobody else notices it, when my makeup process is more enjoyable, I am fucking here for it. I was not going to mention these, but I'm gonna consider these like a little bonus, even though we're not done, but I'm just gonna throw them in here. A couple weeks ago, almost 3 weeks at the time of filming, I got my nails done. I've got them done twice at a salon in the city that I'm staying in, because I like pool time, water time. Press-on nails are just a little less possible. They're just not gonna last in the same way that getting acrylics or gels or whatever would last. And so for me, I've just been testing out the concept of getting my nails done. So anyway, I went in with this idea, and the salon that I went to was so kind, so nice in like doing it in the way that they could, because the photo that I showed was like next level, and I was like, I'm not expecting that. Like I said, I know these are like 3 weeks old, but I still love them. They're just so pretty. They are my iridescent eyeshadows in nail form. So I adore them. I'm going to be sad to say farewell to them, but they just make me so happy. Okay, on to the next. So I picked up this light, and I'm gonna have all of the information in the description box, and I'm gonna have a picture on the screen because it's actually what is doing this in the background. Like, now we're blue, now we're green, now we're pink. So I'm doing this all on my phone. I can also give this a fire effect, like it's a flickering flame. I love this. I only bought one. I could see myself picking up a couple more. They're definitely not your budget lighting, but they are really easy to work with. It's easy to control, and I've honestly just been seeing more and more people, like fucking Abby Williamson with the colorful lighting in the background, Thorn, so many streamers, other people too, like just playing around with lighting, and I wanted to do that. And I feel like they're also something that for me, as somebody who doesn't have like a set long-term place where I know I'm going to stay, they are really easy to travel with because they're small. And that's something that I think about. They're like small but mighty. So I can see myself picking up a couple more in the future, but I'm happy to just have the one to play with for now. Yeah, so thank you, Thorn. I'm actually going to link it in the description box with Thorn's affiliate link because they're why I got it, and they deserve some of that kickback. So if you're a streamer or just like to take photos or whatever, like I had so much fun. Oh, when I did that toxic look, I used it with the green light and it was so much fun. It's just fun, and that makes me so happy, and it's fun to have something that gets me excited about filming when, like, right now for me, I have certain things with my location and some of my equipment that is like very frustrating. So this has just been really nice to just be like, ooh, this is fun. Now, in this unexpected little container is a major skincare favorite of mine. This is the Good Molecules Pineapple Scrub. I transferred it into a container. Well, first I put it in a baggie, which looked exactly like you think it might look. That's how I traveled with it. Thankfully, that did not go badly. But then I put it in here because it's in a quite nice glass bottle, but I was moving, so I didn't want to bring it in the glass bottle. I'll put a picture on the screen of like what it looks like. This is a really lovely second cleanse or morning cleanser. I thought this was only an exfoliating, like it's a powder that you mix with water and you can exfoliate and then it suds up. But so I had bought the like Good Molecules Trend Mood box months ago. I honestly felt just kind of mediocre about a lot of the products in there. Not any hatred, but just like, yeah, they're fine. But and that's how I felt about the pineapple scrub for a while. And then I heard Hannah Louise Poston talking about how she uses this as a second cleanse, or I think as a morning cleanser, and that changed it for me because this if you just put a little bit of water, it's like very exfoliating. It's more pasty, and you can, like, you know, rub it into the skin and get a little bit of physical exfoliation with some chemical exfoliation. But if you use a little bit more water, it'll really suds up and clean. And I think I was only thinking about it as an exfoliator, and I was like, it's fine as an exfoliator, but it wasn't like enough for me. I like, my skin can handle like chemical exfoliators, some pretty strong ones. But since I've been using it either in the morning just to like get a really clean face from like an oily night of sleep, or as that second cleanse, I have been loving this. It just works. All of my my other cleansers that I have currently are all more creamy or moisturizing. So I find that when I'm doing that like double cleanse, makeup removing skincare, that this is kind of the main option I have for that second cleanse. And it's just, even though the powder can be kind of annoying, when it's in the original bottle, it's pretty easy to control. The bottle keeps the water out. Like if I had it in my shower, so because I would use it, you know, in the shower. So in my head, before I had the product, I thought a powder would seem annoying, but I actually like the control and the way I can get variable effects depending on what I'm doing. So I have one more random one. And if you have misophonia and you don't like a crinkly bag sound, I'm warning you here. Teresa, if you happen to be watching, you're welcome. So, one of the joys since I have moved has been discovering snacks in Mexico. It's my favorite thing to do when I travel, period. But This is like, okay, so these are paquetaxo, and they're mixed chip, like snack food. What am I trying to say? Mixed chips, I guess. And they have different flavors. So they have different ones that have different things in them. And there's a couple that I like, but this one I think is my favorite because it has little Cheeto balls. It has Fritos. It has, what are they? Like a little chip that's probably like a corn chip with some spices. And then it has pork rinds. And it's like, they're like very, like, you have citrusy and a little spicy and a little cheese. It's a really good blend, and it's my favorite thing. And it makes me think of a TikTok that my dear friend Audra made about being neurodivergent and mixing flavors. And that's why I love this, because it pre-mixes the flavors for you, but they don't turn into all the same flavor. So you still get some variety, and the textures are all like perfection. So yeah, that's a random fat girl fave. Because I love snack food, and I have others that I could tell you about, but we're just gonna keep it at that. The last favorite is not that surprising, but I'm just gonna give you one last little makeup favorite to say farewell with, and that has been my Clionadh palette. So ever since I reorganized my shadows and I put all of my multi-chromes and all of my Clionadh stained glass shadows in this Tarte leopard print palette, which is a beautiful palette. I will not shut the fuck up about these. They're so nice. The mirror, perfection. Thank you, Tina, again. But there's something about like this square palette with all the rectangles and just having them all together, and they're kind of sorted by formula. I just love grabbing this and just playing and dipping and like seeing what I want to do with different ones. And like the iridescent ones towards the top are great as like highlighters or inner corner or layering. Like today I have like 4 different Clionadh shadows on my eyes on top of mattes from Lethal. I just adore them, and I think that their formulas are very, very nice. They're not all created equally, I will say that, but as a whole, there was something about the process of just reorganizing, getting them in this like nice palette that I really like, that has kept me coming back to this over and over and over again. So I just had to share some love with a very beloved eyeshadow collection of mine. And I think that's everything. I think I've talked about enough stuff. I've given you some lifestyle, like randomy favorite update kind of things. I've given you some creator favorites, makeup, skincare. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any thoughts on anything that I talked about tonight, you can definitely leave them in the comments. If you have a favorite that you would like to share with the class, let me know. A favorite makeup item, favorite skincare item, a favorite snack food or candy, or any random thing that you're just in love with right now. I would actually love to hear that. Thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. And don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are so worth it. Bye, friends.